Now I would like to invite Mr. Jayantha Fernando, who has pioneered ICT law reforms in Sri Lanka for nearly 20 years. He has been a program director and legal advisor of ICTA. He gave leadership to Sri Lanka's accession to the Budapest Cybercrime Convention and Sri Lanka's ratification of the UN Electronic Communications Convention, both first for South Asia. He has extensive ICT law experience and serves as an expert with UNCITRAL and Council of Europe. He is the current chairman of the board of directors of LK Domain Registry. He will speak to us on ICT's story on enabling ICT in local languages.
Good afternoon, um, Chairman ICTA, Professor Gihan Dias, CEO and General Manager of LK Registry, my good friend Aruni, the author of the book, Harsha, and of course, Board Director and former Secretary, Mr. Vasantha Deshapriya, and guests who are present and who are online. Based on, I think, she gave an introduction in a very formal way. None of those introduction aspects have anything to do with the subject matter of today's discussion. And I am no technical expert, nor am I a person in this field of local languages. However, I'm delighted to speak here, having been the program director in charge of the subject that gave supervision and direction to this area at ICTA for nearly 10 years, right, Aruni? So I, for some odd reason, there was I think after, Gihan was with us for 1 year, about roughly 1 year. And then when he left, Aruni took over the local languages initiative. And then, of course, even at that time, around 2004 June, the World Bank funded East Sri Lanka development program was not yet formally in place. We were doing preparatory work. We were doing kind of pilot projects with our stakeholders, and it was kind of unsure how the World Bank program will materialize. And on the 21st of June 2004, I still remember the date very well, is when we completed the negotiation of the East Sri Lanka program, and Vasantha was also there. And of course, I must mention at that time, the Secretary Prime Minister, Mr. Lalit Wiratunga, gave significant amount of support to renegotiate certain elements of the World Bank program to include local dimensions, including R&D related work to many other aspects that were not included in the original design of the World Bank program that was negotiated by Honorable Milinda Morogoda and others with World Bank. So if you remember, in the original design of the World Bank program, the support element for the local languages initiative was there nominally. There was a small line with limited allocation, but there was no drop-down menu, so to say, that would give the hare or the gist of the components that will be implemented. So we were fortunate in having Aruni, who helped to negotiate. I also take the opportunity of warmly welcoming Mrs. Shreya Samaranayaka, dear friend and wife of our mentor, late Professor V.K. Samaranayaka, who was a pioneering figure. We mentioned him a short while ago, who pioneered this subject, and we are grateful for your presence, right? So we were on the story of how ICTA got involved. So, once the World Bank program was negotiated, there was a bit of a challenge what components of local language elements can be included. And then soon thereafter, our first CEO left and joined the World Bank. We had Manju Hatotu, who was also very passionately supporting this area, but the details were not configured. And then we had Professor V.K. Samaranayaka, who joined ICTA board on the 15th of January 2005. In fact, it's very interesting. Arune and Vasanta will recall, ICTA functioned with without a chairman and a board for 10.5 months. Right? There was a lot of disagreement of who should be the chairman, and there were 2-3 nominations. They all fell out. And then eventually we had our dear Professor V.K. Samaranayaka as chairman of the board, with likes of Dr. R.B. Ekanayaka and Ravi Senanayaka and many other people who came and who gave fresh momentum and direction to the organization to make sure that what we did had an impact at a grassroots level, that the people and the various sectors of the country, especially government sector, eGov was not even given enough focus, that we would get emphasis in those special areas. So what Aruni did was, she helped to distill down the local language component into various sub areas. And I think I still have some of those old emails. You wrote to me and said, where are we going to park it? And the World Bank people who used to come and supervise this area was testing about where to park it. And it got parked under program area 1, that is policy, law, and institutional development aspect. I don't know for what reason they parked it there, enabling environment. So I thought, okay, I will give not leadership, but support. I must qualify by saying, although I had some degree of a lot of involvement in convincing the World Bank to support this area, my role was to facilitate, because the true leadership for this area came from Aruni. And I must not forget the fact that it also came from another gentleman here in the audience, Mr. Vasanta Deshapriya, who subsequently became program director of e-government and was passionately driving this subject. So ICT's involvement in this area became more and more significant, because I remember every once in 4 months, we had a World Bank evaluation team who used to fly down to Sri Lanka to figure out what we have been doing, what did we achieve, what were the outcomes, and everything was measured with the deliverables and what contracts have been awarded. If things were not moving so well in those areas, there was always a threat that monies will be diverted to other components. So what we did under this enabling environment or legal enabling policy environment, thanks to the support of people like Aruni, was to work expeditiously and methodically to implement this drop-down menu under local languages initiative and obtain the support of the industry giants through the local language working group. And it had people of the likes of Dr. R.B. Ekanayaka, who chaired it soon after the demise of late Professor V.K. Samaranayaka in Sweden in June 2007. The leadership to this area was given by Dr. R.B. Ekanayaka, and I also wish to recognize him with a lot of gratitude for the support he gave, because when people are trying to get me to chair the LLWG, shivers stand on my spine, because when it comes to these technical scientific things, I get a bit worried, because I am a social science legal kind of person, so I don't know these ones and zeros and numbers that all of you talk about, but I like this area. I give support. So in conclusion, I want to emphasize that ICTA played a pivotal role in carrying forward the work that was not completed from the day Syntech launched the local language initiative. And I would like to draw your reference to page 28 of the World Bank results report published after a 1 full year of independent evaluations with regard to the performance of the East Sri Lanka Development Program and the way it was implemented by ICTA. And here is what they say. They have described about the e-laws, then the work we did establishing Sri Lanka CERT under Program Area 1, and so on and so forth. And thereafter, there's a special paragraph under Local Languages Initiative, which I would like to read out. Local Languages Initiative of the East Sri Lanka Development Program under Program Area 1 was also an important component that is targeted towards bridging the digital divide. Bridging the digital divide. That is a crucial element. The objective was to ensure that ICT can be used in Sinhala and Tamil based on national and international standards, SLSI standards and ISO standards, and to ensure that ICT in local languages was easy to use. Projects such as 1, enabling Sinhala and Tamil in mobile operating systems. So here I'm reading the drop-down menu. Number 2, text-to-speech systems for Sri Lanka Tamil and speech-to-text systems for Sri Lanka Tamil. Number 3, Unicode compliant publishing in Sinhala and Tamil. Number 4, developing a Sri Lanka Tamil language corpus. And 5, developing translation tools to enable translations between Sinhala and Tamil have been successfully implemented by ICTA using the funds in a methodical and a proactive and a systematic manner. According to the countrywide provisional data of the Local Language Evaluation Survey, which is referenced in this report, the Unicode addresses the anomaly caused by numerous non-standard local language fonts. Over 84% of the surveyed users were aware of the availability of local languages computing. 72% were able to use local languages computing, and users were able to develop Unicode compliant local language websites and use Sinhala and Tamil in the digital media in an accurate manner. However, printers and publishers were unable to use it due to incompatibilities in printing and publishing related software, lack of knowledge about local languages computing among private sector. So more work needs to be done by ICTA in partnership with vendors to ensure that this work is continued. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that due to the lack of focus, perhaps from February 2015, this area was not given much focus, and these areas identified to be completed together with vendors, we could not perhaps continue, but Aruni, and of course with the help of Mr. Deshapriya, who became our secretary, tried their best to do that part. And I'm grateful to the new chairman of ICTA, not new anymore, I mean, he has been there since January this year. But of course, he's having to manage a lot of challenges in terms of getting the organization operationalized properly. He'll do that with his industry giant. We are grateful that he, without even getting any chairman's perks, he's joined ICTA to support this unfinished work to take them forward. And one last comment is that ICTA played a pivotal role in supporting the work of Harsha to find the various character numerals that were not properly identified in the earlier documentation. And the last area, and not the least, is that in the work of the local languages working group, I think Aruni might be able to write perhaps a postscript or an epilogue from this book and maybe publish it on this LK registry funded website to refer to the disconnected areas that were connected. So for example, although ICTA was driving this, there was no link with the SLSI, and the engineering team at SLSI had the monopoly right to feed in local languages working group material to the ISO. For some strange reason, again, I happened to be on the board of SLSI, and then we told the SLSI chairman and the director general, look here, this is not the way we should be working in future. ICT agency is not something in a different planet. We are part of this ecosystem. Why not we give rights to an ICTA nominated person to communicate or have the direct communication ability with the ISO, International Standards Organization committee that dealt with the subject, and that opened new vistas. And I remember Gihan, Harsha, many of you defending Sri Lanka's position vis-a-vis that gentleman called Michael Everson, right? And we had to fly Professor J.B. Disanayake to defend Sri Lanka's position once. So that work, I'm happy to say, people like us were able to facilitate the unconnected people. We were able to connect. But most importantly, even in that area, Aruni, we have things which are now not connected with ISO. I don't think we have a proper link. We need to re-establish that. Yeah, so I would think that you might like to write an epilogue on some of that work that may not be referred here, as well as the work of people like Channa De Silva, for example, who happens to be one of the internet pioneers also, currently the general manager of Lankaclear. Something he did, in conclusion, I have to say this, because we have to remember people like that also. You remember when with all these solutions on Microsoft platforms, on Windows platforms, we had a problem with typing something was going wrong. So, I mean, I don't know the details of what was happening. It didn't matter to me what the details were. I told Channa, give us a solution. So Channa started working with you all in your local languages working group and identified the problem. He represented Microsoft. And eventually, I think I have the email with me. The mail Channa wrote right up breaking the communication channel to none other than Bill Gates. He wrote to Bill Gates to eventually get Sinhala Unicode embedded into the keyboard driver. So I don't know what to call it, whatever, embedded into the Windows platform to enable us use Unicode fonts effectively. So having remembered all the people who matter, once again, I'm grateful to Professor V.K. Samaranayake. I'm also grateful to Professor P.W. Apasinghe and to the gentlemen who are present here today and to those who are not present for the work they did, including those of Dr. R.B. Kanayake. And with that note, I thank you and I welcome the Chairman ICTA, and I look forward to his continuity with this work. Thank you.